morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here. That Journey Tick on Instagram. It's Tuesday. Yeah. The kittens are. There's Pearl. Stitch is over there too. I think. I think they're both. I think they're both there. Lord knows what they're up to. They are very active little guys and girls. They're so cute. Anyway, how are you today? Man, I was in the worst mood last night. I haven't been in a mood like that in a while. I don't know what set me off. You know, I play this game. I've played this game for like 5 years. It's on the iPad. Well, I guess you can get it on any, I don't know if you can play it on the computer or not. Anyway, it's called Dawn of Titans. Yes, you do have to pay some money. You have to put a little bit of money into it. But I'm at the elite, you know, like the top level. And it took me 5 years to get there. But, you know, the people that I play with can be very frustrating. You know, they want to go to war, and I'm like, I want to build my army first. I'm still trying, you know, you get rewarded with these titans, and now I'm getting rewarded with 4-star titans, which is the highest titan you can get, and I want to level it. But they want to do this, and you know, like our goals are not aligning. I know this is way more information than you needed. So last night I decided, you know, it's time for me to stop playing this game. So I wrote to the leader of the group, and I said, I need to stop. I need to quit. You know, you guys are clearly our goals are not aligned, and anyway, he talked me into staying, of course. But and then I was looking for a certain pattern in a certain book, crochet pattern, and I just could not find it, and I was getting really pissed off. Around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I found it. I was determined. I was not going to go to bed until I found the damn thing. Now they're playing with the rug. You see them back there? I don't know if you guys have a good enough view of back there. Let's see. Oh, maybe if I scoot over here. There, you can watch the kittens play under the rug back there. If this show here happens to get boring, there's the show there. Yeah. Pearl is the white one, P-U-R-L, Pearl, like, you know, knit and purl, and Stitch is under the rug, and Pearl is on top of the rug. Oh my gosh, so silly. They're so silly. And Tootsie's in this pouting mood. She's been pouting, you know, because now there's another dog in the house. She doesn't mind the other dog, but I think she's becoming a little overwhelmed. And maybe me too a little, perhaps. That's another story for another day. Anyway, was working on this section. Look at the tail. I was working on the tail. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's get out some drills. Let's get out some drills. Alright, we're going to do blue, so we'll do the pink. Wilson's 3D Designs. Look down in the description. There should be a link. Yeah. If not, I should probably put one there, huh? What's going on? Let's see. I didn't discover it. One of my subscribers over in the UK, Kim, I just love her to death. I love you, Kim. We had a nice long conversation yesterday, and she was telling me about this show called Wrong Man. So what I thought I'd do is, like, in between trials, I might bring you a synopsis of some of the episodes. murder cases in which this team of investigators believes that the wrong person was convicted. So, really interesting. So I watched the first episode and make it all the way to the end of the episode and find out it's like multiple episodes. They do one case over multiple episodes. I'm like, oh, there's more. I I'm I would not describe myself as ADD, attention deficit, but I like an hour's worth of TV is enough for me. So I'm like, okay, maybe another day I'll watch the rest. Now I'll sit and watch YouTube. You know, what was I watching on YouTube? Oh, they released the body cam footage on that South Florida tower collapse, the condo collapse. They released the body cam footage for some of the first officers on the scene, and so I was watching that, very morbidly curious, you know, and it just was like this chaos at first. Like nobody knew what was going on, what to do, where to go, where to park, what happened. It was crazy. Yes, morbidly curious. That's the only thing I can say about that. But, you know, that's how we humans roll. We're curious. Yes, we are. So, as a result of my irritability last night, I was up very late. So, what I had started to do after the whole game thing, I decided I'm going to crochet, because this is the hat I'm going to crochet for Wednesday, that we're going to do the crochet along. So I find the book, and I find what I think was the pattern. And I'm like, I'm going along. I said, let me just make it ahead of time, make one ahead of time. And I get halfway into it, and I'm like, this is not the pattern. It's starting to look weird, you know. Not weird, it looks like a hat, but it did look like this hat. So I'm like, this is not the same hat. So of course I got irritated with that. And then I needed to speak with Treasure Studios Arts to get some things arranged for the collab, and she wasn't available. You know, things were just not going my way. So I got like halfway done with this hat, and then I just put it in the project bag, and I said, I'm going to find the right pattern for this daggone hat. And I found it. Like I said, I found it eventually. Oh, that was weird. But I was watching, what was it? What's it called? You know, it's Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum. It's a version of Project Runway. They don't call it, they call it Making the Cut. It's on Amazon Prime. And it's just Project Runway revamped. Except they're all quarantined. And, you know, they've got to wear masks, and the judges, they're all in like this little, probably in the same hotel. You know, the judges, there's two judges, there's Heidi, there's Tim, and then there's the contestants, and they're all, you know, quarantined together. So then they have these runway shows, like in the, probably at the back of the hotel. You know, they put props up and they have a little runway show. It's just weird. There's no audience, except the judges. It's weird. But the clothes these people are making, oh, the only difference between this show and Project Runway is that each designer will make two looks, like the over the top look, and then they'll make what they call an accessible look, which would be a version of the over the top look that they can sell on Amazon. So whoever wins gets to sell that version, the accessible version, on Amazon. But I can never find it because I don't know when the show was taped, and they're all, you know, probably sold out or whatever. Not that I could afford any of that stuff anyway. And even the accessible stuff is a little over the top for me. Like, where would I wear something like that? Anyway. Although they had this one challenge last night where Levi's was the sponsor, so they had to do something out of denim. And the winner had this really cool jacket. Oh my God, it was so cool. The accessible jacket that went up for sale. Now, I expect it was probably pretty pricey, but oh, the jacket was gorgeous. Anyway, I digress. What national day is this? I don't know, because I forgot. My memory escapes me. Oh my God, how could I forget? It is National S'mores Day. So this year at the retreat, which is in 2 months, the crafting retreat, there's two there were two this year. One already happened a few months back, like maybe 6 weeks back, 7 weeks back. That was in Michigan. The one coming up in 2 months is in Missouri, but the theme for the one coming up is s'mores. S'mores, not schmores. I don't know why I'm saying schmores. It's S-M-O-R-E-S. S'mores. S'mores. They took some and mores and shortened it to s'mores. But that's the theme for the retreat. S'mores. I hope we're going to have some s'mores. Oh my God, I love them. What are the kittens doing? They're still back there, guys. So today is National S'mores Day, and the earliest written references of s'mores are in the Girl Scout handbooks. Yeah, the Girl Scouts came up with s'mores. Actually, they say it was credited to entrepreneur Alec Barnum. But like I said, the earliest written references on how to make a s'more is in the Girl Scout handbook. That's probably where I learned it. It was a 1927 publication of Tramping and Trailing with the Girl Scouts. Tramping and Trailing with the Girl Scouts. Sounds kind of risque, doesn't it? Oh God. Why did my mind go there? Oh dear. So now there are many variations of s'mores. Someone told me, replace the Hershey. Okay, so for those of you, 3 people or 2 people or no people who have never had a s'more, graham crackers, you take the marshmallow, put it on a stick, roast it over an open flame. Don't burn it, roast it. It's a fine art to roast this thing. Then you have a graham cracker and you put a Hershey bar on it and you put the marshmallow on it, and then you squish it together and the marshmallow, expands. So some people have replaced the Hershey bar with a Reese's peanut butter cup. What? I haven't tried it, but I'm game. The other thing that maybe would make more sense for me, I think I would like to try taking the graham cracker, spreading some peanut butter on the graham cracker, putting the Hershey bar on the graham cracker, and then the marshmallow. Now I think that would be delicious. Now there's some other, you can replace the graham crackers with fudge dipped cookies. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to take the fudge dip cookies, layer it with peanut butter. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. Yeah, I need that, right? Look, you need more s'mores, Becky. Yeah. Oh my God. And then to top it off, you could add some banana slices. What a mess. Wear a bib because it's going to get all over you. So I understand when we get to the retreat, there's some s'mores surprises for everybody. It's going to be so fun. Yep. Anyway, so let's do Judge, Jury, and Journey. Well, I yawn. Anyway, Surprisingly, I put up the community poll. 83%, not 100%, 83% of the viewers said guilty. 17% said not guilty. What? Okay. Please leave me a comment if you were in the not guilty category about why you thought this gentleman was not guilty, because the evidence was overwhelming. Like, the judge pointed out that all roads pointed to you. So, let's talk about let's talk about the verdict, shall we? The jury goes out to deliberate and comes back in 1 hour and 9 minutes, or 7 minutes, I don't know, 7 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever. Just over an hour. They give the verdict to the judge. The clerk reads the verdict. Yeah, sometimes the judge will read the verdict, sometimes the clerk will read the verdict. So the clerk reads the verdict. Guilty of, possession of a weapon during the commission of a felony, guilty of kidnapping, and guilty of murder. So, for some odd reason, they did not seek the death penalty in this case. Apparently, to get the death, there is death penalty in South Carolina, but there has to be aggravating circumstances. And the judge did comment at one point that he felt this case was full of aggravating circumstances. He really, I think he might have even been a little disappointed that it wasn't a death penalty case. So he reads the verdict, or the verdict is read. This guy has no reaction. He is emotionless through this entire trial. No emotion from this guy. None whatsoever. Like, just this, like, no emotion there. And so the verdict is read. There's some tears shed by the family. Then the judge invites the jury to stay. He says, oftentimes juries want to know what happens after they render their verdict. He says, I will allow you to stay for the sentencing. So the sentencing included the jury, the judge, the lawyers, everybody in the gallery. So first we had the victim impact statements from the family. The mother of Samantha Josephson got up and spoke. And it was the usual rhetoric, she lit up the room when she walked into it. She was amazing. I don't get to see her graduate from college or law school, or, get to go to her wedding. I won't see my grandchildren. The usual stuff that you hear at these very emotional films. Then you hear from she had an older sister. She spoke. Then we heard from the father. There's Tootsie. Hi, Tootsie. Hi, baby girl. Hello. Hello, baby. Hello. I think she's feeling better. I just gave her dry food yesterday, so I think she's okay. So, we hear from the father, but before that, hi, what's up? Wanna go outside? Yeah. Okay, 1 minute. Tootsie speaks. Okay, I'm back. So, I was interrupted by Tootsie. Where was it? Okay, the father gets up to speak, and he has this spiral bound book in his hand. And he says to the judge, I have here over 100 victim impact statements from family, friends, and that I would like Your Honor to consider in rendering his ruling. And the judge said, yeah, I would like to read that. I loved this judge. Yes, may I have that? And so they brought it up to the judge, and he, I imagine he's going to keep it as a memento, because, that was very powerful. He didn't have to read them. just the fact that over 100 people wrote these letters, my God. Then the father spoke, very tearful. He mentioned how they have set up this foundation, that he does speaking engagements on rideshare safety now, but that, in the past 28 months since her murder, he's considered suicide many times. You know, and your mind will go there. If you're so distraught over losing a loved one, oh God, my heart went out to this guy. So then the boyfriend gets up and speaks. Doesn't have anything written, just talking from his heart about how this was the love of his life. He was going to move with her to Philadelphia, where she was going to go to law school. He was going to marry her. They were going to have, children and spend their life together. And he was very tearful. He mentioned how, people call him, he has friends that now will call him when they get into an Uber or a Lyft, just to, please stay on the phone with me until I get where I'm going, because people are, he said, we're all now in this constant fear. We have to live with this. And I'm thinking, nah, just get a car, buddy. Get a car. Tell your friends to get a car. No, I shouldn't make fun of that. Anyway. Yeah. Then the judge asked the defense, what say you? So the defendant's mother, Nathaniel's mother, gets up to speak. And the first thing out of her mouth is, I know he's innocent. And the judge says, he interrupts her. He's like, ma'am, the trial is over. He was convicted. We're not going to hear any talk about him being innocent. He's guilty. He was convicted of murder. He was convicted of kidnapping. I'll let you speak, but you're not a witness. The time for that was, if you wanted to say all this, you could have taken the witness stand. I'm going to allow you to talk about how this affected you, but I'm not going to hear any talk about him being innocent. He's not innocent. Yeah. So, that being said, she went on about what, she knows he's innocent because of the way. She goes, I know he's innocent. And he says to her, well, how do you know that? And she says, because of the way I raised him. And then he just kind of shut up. And so she didn't go on very long, because he just kept kind of shutting her down. She just wanted to talk about how innocent he was. How she didn't raise him like that. She knows he wouldn't have done anything like this. He never been in any trouble. So she and she didn't get upset with the judge. She just, she thanked him and she sat back down. And then the lawyer for the defense says, I think what she was trying to say, and the judge interrupts her. He goes, I don't want to hear you interpreting what she was trying to say. I know what she was trying to say, and we're not going to hear that from her or you. So, oh my God, that poor attorney. I think she wanted to cry. So then she made a motion for a new trial based on the brevity of the jury deliberations. That the fact that there were over 32 witnesses and over 300 pieces of evidence, and they were only back there for an hour and 7 minutes. So based on that, we want a new trial. The judge says, denied. He then brings him up for sentencing. And he asks him, do you have anything to say? He pulls his mask down and starts to proclaim his innocence. I'm innocent. I didn't do it. My only regret is that the police didn't, they stopped when they found me. They decided I was the one. They should have continued their investigation. I didn't do it. So the judge then went on with his litany. You haven't shown any remorse. He says, I often find in murder cases that, what has happened that is so heinous that the person who committed this murder has actually blocked out what happened because their mind just can't go back to it, and they truly do not remember it. And he says maybe that's what's going on here. But all roads in this trial led to you. He says, I believe that the prosecution did an amazing job investigating and trying this case. Oh, I forgot one person. All right, let me get the dog. The thing that I forgot was the chief of police made a statement, about how, everyone cooperated in this case, and it was the most horrendous case he'd ever seen. And I just never seen the chief of police make a statement. And he was, imploring that the judge impose the maximum sentence. So the judge continues and says, for me to believe that you were innocent, we'd have to believe that someone found your keys, stole them, stole your vehicle, committed this crime, somehow returned the vehicle to you, returned the keys to you, and with a car full of blood for you to clean up. Because I think not. Oh, and get it to you in time. Get the vehicle back to you in time for you to go to the ATMs and the gun store and the cell phone store to try to sell her cell phone. Just no, not making any sense. So, he sentences him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He says you will be imprisoned for the natural course of your life, which means you will never see the light of day outside of those prison bars. Now, of course, he's going to appeal, I'm sure, and probably waste the court's time some more. But he's 27, so he'll, the defense had asked for a 30-year sentence, which means he could get out with good behavior. And they said, even if with a 30-year sentence, he'll be in his 70s when he gets out. The judge said, no, for the entirety of your natural life, you will be in prison for this. So, one thing I wanted to share, this started a movement by the family called #What'sMyName. So if you're ever considering doing one of these ride shares, a Lyft or an Uber, make sure that when the driver pulls up, you go to the driver window and you say, "What's my name?" Make sure that driver knows your name before you get into the vehicle. Ask some questions. The other thing that I haven't mentioned, but someone else brought it to my attention, is, if you go out with a group of girls or a group of people, especially a group of women, stay together. Do not get separated. This is what these people that prey on women look for. They want you to get separated from your group. If you go out with the girls, you guys should all, if you go together, you should all leave together. Get in the Uber together. Advice from Grandma Rebecca. Yep. Grandma Rebecca. All right, moving on. So I will try to find another trial to cover. If not, I might give you a little synopsis of these other cases that I've been listening to on that new show. because super interesting. Super interesting. Anyway, this day in history. I forgot what I picked out. That's because I'm tired, man. Today is going to be a nap day. Okay. The Smithsonian Institute is created in 1846, on August 10th, 1846. Now, how did that come about? Well, first of all, there was a 10 years worth of debate on how to spend a bequest that was left to America from an obscure English scientist. So, the man's name was James Smithson. He died in Italy, and he left behind a will with a peculiar footnote. In the event that his only nephew, he had one heir, his nephew, and he says, if my nephew dies, I want everything to go to America. How weird is that? He says, my entire estate will go to the United States of America. To found at Washington under the name of the Smithsonian Institution, an establishment for the increase and diffusion of knowledge. Smithson's curious request to a country that he had never visited aroused significant attention on both sides of the Atlantic. So, Smithson had been a fellow of the Venerable Royal Society of London from the age of 22, publishing numerous scientific papers on mineral composition. How fascinating. Geology and chemistry. In 1802, he overturned popular scientific opinion by proving that zinc carbonates were true carbonate minerals, and one type of zinc carbonate was later named Smithsonite in his honor. How fascinating! I'm more fascinated with the fact that the man was rich. He was rich. So what do you think happens? 6 years after he dies, his nephew dies with no heirs. Everything has to go to the United States. So President Andrew Jackson sends a diplomat over to Europe to gather the bequest and bring it back to the United States. So he has to negotiate with England. So he negotiates for 2 years. He comes back with 104,960 gold sovereigns, 8 shillings and 7 pence, as well as Smithson's mineral collection, library, scientific notes, and personal effects. So they get back to the U.S., they melt down all the gold, and this is in 1846, it's worth $500,000. Back then, that was an incredible amount of money. So after considering a series of recommendations, including the creation of a national university, a public library, or an astronomical observatory, Congress agreed that the bequest would support the creation of a museum, a library, and a program of research, publication, and collection in the sciences, arts, and history. So in 1846, on August 10th, the act establishing the Smithsonian Institution was signed into law by now President James Polk. And then, as we know, there are several Smithsonian institutions, galleries, including the National Museum of African American History and Culture, 9 research facilities throughout the United States and the world, a national zoo, the National Museum of Natural History, the National Zoological Park, National Portrait Gallery, National Museum of American History houses the original Star Spangled Banner. Yep. the Air and Space Museum, which includes the Wright brothers plane, and the Freedom 7, which was the space capsule holding the first person to ever go into space, first American to ever go into space. And Mr. Smithson's body is interred underneath or in a tomb in the Smithsonian Institution. I don't think tombs are not underneath, they're like above, right? Tombs, like they're big, yeah. Anyway, he's interred there. Yeah. I've never been there. Never. Isn't that interesting? To any of those places. And it's not on my bucket list? No. So we need to get out the planner. Let's get our planners out, everybody. Let's get the planners out before we go. We're going to write here that today was National S'mores Day. Now I need a s'mores. I want to go get a s'mores. Yum. Well, not for breakfast. Anyway. And then we say Smithsonian Institute. Okay. Yes, I still have the bills to pay, but payday is Friday. Yep. Anyway, so I did order some stickers yesterday. I was in the Zoom and somebody said, oh, look, these stickers are on sale, 75% off. You know, that's all you have to say to me. 75% off. I'm there. $9 later, you know, I bought stickers. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would be 61 years old buying stickers to put on a piece of paper, I would have said you're crazy. What are you doing? Okay, guys, I gotta go. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow, because I'm gonna figure out a new trial. So I'll see you tomorrow on Crafting and Crime Daily.